Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're going to be doing a tier ranking video of every foundation at Sephora. So I'm doing ones I've tried, I haven't tried, that I've loved, that I've hated. So pretty much every foundation at Sephora, that is what we're going to be tier ranking. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get on into it. I'm going to just like screen record if I can. Okay, so I have... Okay, don't pay attention to the ad up at the top. So I have the top one is Go Buy Right Now. So these are foundations that I love. Holy Grails, will always repurchase, have to have in my collection. I have Almost Perfect, so they're really good. There's just something about them that's keeping them from being a holy grail. I have Good, so they're good. It's nothing to write home about, nothing amazing. It's good. I have Don't Waste Your Money. Foundations that just aren't worth the money. Foundations at Sephora are expensive, so they're either just not worth the money or they're just not good. I have Haven't Tried and Want To, and then Don't Care to Try. So yeah. Oh, okay, I don't know what I just did there, but anywho. Okay, so the first one that we're gonna put in is the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear Glow Foundation, I think is what it's called. So I really like this foundation. It's actually such a pretty foundation. It's very natural while being fuller coverage. So it's like a medium to full coverage. It's more of a radiant finish, but it lasts all day long. It's really good, but there's just something about it where I'm just kind of like meh about it. So I'm gonna put that in the Almost Perfect. It could also be because I got a terrible shade. I don't know who was buying those shades, but yeah, it's still a really good foundation. It's just not one that I think you need to go buy right now. Then we have the Hourglass Stick Foundation. So I've actually heard about this foundation for years. I feel like it's like a holy grail for a lot of people, but a lot of people also say that it's not good for people with oily skin, and I have oily skin. So I don't know if I want to try it or if I don't care to try it. I'm kind of just like in the middle. But it is really pricey, so I think I'm just going to put in Don't Care to Try. It's a pricey stick foundations. You go through them really fast, and I don't know, I've always just heard such a mixed reviews about it. So I've kind of zoomed you in a little bit, but okay, carrying on. Oops, I keep moving them around. Okay, so the next one is the Dior Forever Matte Foundation, and I do want to try this one. I haven't tried it, but I hear really good things about it. It's apparently really good for bridal makeup too. What keeps me from trying it is that it's supposedly it oxidizes really bad. I don't know, that's just what I've always heard, and the reviews say that it oxidizes, and it's just really pricey. So yeah, but I am super intrigued to try that foundation. Next is the Summer Fridays skin tint. So I actually am intrigued to try this. I've been really into skin tints lately. I have heard not much really about it. I haven't really heard if it's good or if it's bad, but I am intrigued to try it. I do love the Summer Fridays sunscreen. That's like my favorite thing from them, and I do like their jet lag mask. So yeah, I would be intrigued to try this. Next is the Born This Way foundation. So this is the matte one, and this I'm gonna put in Almost Perfect. I used to really love this foundation, and I still do like it. I feel like I just don't reach for full coverage matte foundations anymore. But it's still a really good foundation. But again, I'm reaching for more medium coverage foundations that have more of a natural finish and not so matte. But it's still a good foundation, and if you want a good foundation, I think you'd really like this one. Or if you really want a matte foundation, I think you'd really like this. Next is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer, and there's like 3 different versions of this or something. I'm just gonna clump them all in one. So this I don't care to try. I've always heard very mixed reviews about this tinted moisturizer. I have tinted moisturizers that I love that aren't $58, or I don't remember if it's $58. It's somewhere in like the $50 price range, and it's just pricey for me, and I've just heard very mixed things about it. So yeah, don't care to try that. Next is the YSL New Foundation. This is that I haven't tried but want to. This is pricey, but I've actually heard really good things about this foundation, or the skin tint, that even though it's a skin tint, it still is really pretty, really natural. I think it has more of a natural satin finish. It's not super dewy, it's not super matte, but yeah, I'm intrigued to try that one. Do Your Forever Skin Glow Foundation. So this, I really like this foundation. I actually just got this during the Sephora sale, and I have been really liking it. It's a great bridal foundation. Even though it has a glowy finish, it still lasts really well on my skin. I don't get oily with it. It's very natural, really pretty. It's definitely pricey, but I do think it's worth the money. So yeah, I've been really liking that one. Next we have the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I'm just gonna put it in the go buy right now because I just feel like this is always gonna be a holy grail. I feel like everyone loves this foundation. But if you can hear that, I'm sorry, but it's literally right outside my window. But I feel like everyone loves this foundation. I feel like it's tried and true for a lot of people. This is a great foundation for events. You can wear this every day if you want, but it's definitely like a medium to full coverage foundation. It's like supposed to be like waterproof, sweat proof. It's really like for like weddings, for parties, for I don't know, anything that's gonna be outside. It is a really good foundation for that. It has a really great lasting power. I just feel like it's a holy grail, and I feel like it will always be a holy grail. Next we have the Huda Beauty Stick Foundation. I don't really care to try this. I'm just not a big stick foundation girl. I feel like it's not a great bang for your buck. You don't get much product, and I feel like a lot of them tend to cater towards dry skin. So yeah, I am not super intrigued to try this. Next we have the Dior Backstage. So I haven't tried this foundation, but I actually really want to, especially since I do like the other Dior foundation so much. But this one is like, I feel like a holy grail with makeup artists. I feel like celebrity makeup artists love this. I feel like people on YouTube, TikTok, like everyone loves this foundation. And again, they say it's really good for brides. I'm still really intrigued to try that foundation, and I would like to try to just test it out for my wedding day, maybe. Next we have the KVD Apple Serum Foundation. I'm not super intrigued to try this one. I was when it first came out, but I haven't heard the best things about it. So yeah, and actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I skipped over the Good Apple like cream foundation that everyone was obsessed with for like in 2020 or like 2021 or something. I don't know if I skipped over it or what, but I don't care to try that. I've heard it's really greasy, it's really oily, very heavy and cakey, and that is just not for me. So I'm gonna skip that one. Next we have the Pat McGrath foundation. So I'm gonna put this in haven't tried but want to. I used to not really care to try this because again, I was in my matte foundation fuller coverage days, and I'm pretty full glam today for like the first time in a while. But yeah, I wasn't in that at that stage. Like I didn't really want sheer coverage or medium coverage. So yeah, I've actually heard mixed reviews. I feel like people either love or hate this. It's a very expensive foundation, so it would probably take me forever to actually buy this one. But yeah, I think it's more of a lighter coverage with more of a like a, I don't know if it's satin finish or natural finish. So yeah. Next I have the Rose Ink tinted moisturizer, or it's like a water skin tint thing. I at first was like wanted to try this because I did hear good things about it. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna put it in haven't tried and want to instead, because I feel like people again either love or hate this. I know it's like a dupe for like the Chanel water skin tint thing, but it pretty much just like has like, I don't know if it's like a gel that just has like these like little bubbles that like burst. I think it pretty much provides like no coverage at all. Like I literally think it's just a skin tint. So I am intrigued to try it, but yeah, I would want just like a smidge of coverage, just like a little tiny bit. So I don't know, and it is very pricey. Next is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. I'm gonna put this in don't waste your money. I just don't think it's worth the money. It's just not a foundation for me. It's just a little too full coverage. This is the newer version. I never tried the old one, but this is the Luminous Matte one. I still thought it was pretty matte. It's pretty heavy. It just wasn't for me. It did last really well on the skin, but but it's just a more heavy foundation and it's extremely full coverage, and I'm just more of a medium coverage person, so for me this is a don't waste your money. Next we have the Fenty Beauty matte foundation. I'm gonna put this in good. I have actually repurchased this foundation, so it is really good. I just don't think that it's the best matte foundation I've ever used, and I don't think it's the worst. I don't think you need to go buy it right now, right at this moment. I think it's a good foundation. I've heard that it does break some people out, so just keep that in mind. I didn't notice it breaking me out, but who knows? So yeah, it is a really good foundation. I don't know. I'm conflicted because I don't feel like it's like almost perfect, but it is good. It's a good foundation. Next we have the Estee Lauder. This is like the tinted moisturizer. I'm gonna put this in one to try. I've been hearing a lot of good things about this recently, especially on TikTok, which is super random because I feel like no one has really talked about it, but I've just been hearing about it on TikTok. And people say that it lasts really well, it has a decent coverage, and it looks really pretty on the skin, so I'm definitely going to try it. It is pricey, but still. Then we have the Laura Mercier Radiant Foundation. I don't even know if they sell this anymore. Like, I thought it was getting discontinued, but maybe it's not. But this is actually a really good foundation. I haven't used it in quite some time, but I remember I really liked it. It has a nice like satin finish, but it's been so long since I've tried it that I'm just going to put it in good because I can't really remember if it's almost perfect, but I do remember really liking it. I just want to know like if me now would love it as just as much as I did then, so I'm gonna put it in good. Then I have the Rare Beauty Tinted Moisturizer. Again, I'm gonna put this in haven't tried but want to. This, again, I was hearing very mixed reviews. I've heard that it wasn't great for oily skin, that it was breaking down, that it was just not wearing the best, but then I've also heard the opposite of that. So yeah, and I like a lot of products from Rare Beauty, but yeah, so I'd want to try it. This is the Synchro Skin Radiant one, and then I also have, I'm gonna do these two. I'm gonna do these two at the same time. I haven't tried but want to, and then where's my other one? Hello. Oh, there she is. Okay. Okay, so this is the Radiant one and the Refreshing one. So obviously the Radiant one just has more of a dewy finish than the Refreshing one. I've heard amazing things about this foundation. I think it's more the Refreshing one than the Radiant, but I feel like it kind of goes back and forth. I would probably buy the Refreshing one over the Radiant one, but I've just heard that they're so pretty on the skin. They last really well. I've just heard nothing but amazing things about it, so I would absolutely try these foundations. And I have literally been waiting on my shade to come back in stock for the Refreshing one for like a year, and I just seen that it was back in stock when I was making this video. So yeah, but it is still pricey, so I don't know. But then I also have the Lancome matte one. I'm gonna put this in Almost Perfect. It's a really, really good foundation. It lasts really well. It looks like your skin but better. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put this in Go By right now because this is a very nice matte foundation. I don't think it's too full glam. I don't think it's heavy or cakey or drying. I think it wears really nicely on the face, and I feel like it looks like skin. And I feel like it just looks like skin. So yeah, it's a really good foundation. I don't have any problems with the oxidizing. Next I have the, wait, is this Armani? No. The Givenchy Prisme Libre. I think this is the matte one, and then there is a glow one, which I don't think I have on here, so I'll just kind of group them. I would love to try these ones. I heard, I think Aaliyah's Face said that she really likes these foundations. But yeah, they're very pricey, so I don't know if I'd ever buy it, but I would like to try it eventually. Then we have the Huda Beauty Glowish foundation. I'm gonna put this in Don't Care to Try. I just don't think this is for me. It seems like a very dewy product. A lot of people were mixing this with their foundation or like using it as a primer, kind of like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. So that's probably how I would use it if I tried it, but I just don't think it's for me. I've just heard that it is very, very glowy. very dewy on the face, like almost oily. So if you have really dry skin, you might like it, but it's just a no for me. And then the Milk Makeup, I don't really know what this is, a skin tint kind of type of thing, but it's like in a like, I think it's in like a little clicker, like a roller ball thing. Again, not for me. I've heard this is really oily, a pretty sheer coverage, just kind of a lot of glow, so just not for me. I do like a dewy glowy foundation, but there's a difference between dewy and glowy and just oily, so I don't think this one would work for my skin tone. Next is the Cali Ray Free Dreaming Skin Tint. This is in a go buy right now. This is my holy grail skin tint. I love this skin tint. It has such a good coverage for a tinted moisturizer, skin tint, whatever. It lasts really, really well. It lasts through heat, sweat, really anything. Like, it is so good. The fact that I could wear this skin tint in Florida in like 100-degree weather with like 100% humidity, and it lasted through that heat, that says something. So I love this, and I just seen that they extended the shade range. I use shade 2, but I just seen that they have brought out more shades, which I'm so glad about, because even though it's a skin tint and you can get most shades to work with a skin tint, like even if it's a couple shades darker, you can get it to work. Like shade 2 is too dark for me. It's like I would say like 2 shades darker, but I get it to work. It blends in nicely with the skin, but I just think that they extend the shade range, which I'm so glad about, because the shade range on the skin tint was literally terrible. It was horrible. So I just think that they extended that. Next is the Glossier, I don't know exactly what this is called, but it's pretty much just like their water like skin tint. I don't care to try this. I've heard that it's literally just water and pigment. Like, there's no coverage. It literally does nothing to the skin. It just adds like a little hint of color. I'm good. I would just rather not put anything on my face then, so I'm good. Next is the Beauty Blender Bounce Skin Tint. I've heard really, really good things about this. I've heard really great things about this skin tint. I've heard that it's so pretty on the skin. It has more of a hydrating, dewy finish, but I just feel like everyone who's tried this skin tint loves it, and I feel like I just always forget to purchase it, but I always have it like my loves list, but I definitely want to try that. Then we have the Kosas foundation. I'm gonna put this in good. I don't think this is anything to write home about. It's a good foundation. It has like a medium coverage, I would say, and it's pretty dewy on the face. They do expire pretty quickly, but I feel like Kosas products where they're made with like clean ingredients, like once they expire, you know that they're expired. I really need to get a new one of the concealer because mine is expired, but it is a really pretty foundation. It's great for every day. It's kind of more of that dewy medium coverage. It looks really pretty on the skin. I have nothing bad to say about it. It's a good foundation, and that's it. That's literally all I have to say. Then we have the Smashbox Hydrating Foundation. I'm gonna put this in go buy right now. I am worried this is getting discontinued because it's hard to find shades on certain websites, and like they've really like knocked off a lot of shades. Normally that means that it's getting ready to get discontinued, which is really disappointing for me because I love this foundation. I have been using this foundation since Casey Holmes talked about it, like, I don't even know, 6 years ago or something like that. I loved it. I will say back then I was a lot more oily, so in the summertime I did have to use like some kind of mattifying primer or something, but now I'm not quite as oily as I was then, and I love this foundation. It lasts so good on my skin. It looks so natural, it looks so skin-like, but it has more of like a hydrating finish. It's not matte, it's not dewy, it's just more like hydrated natural finish. Just makes your skin look hydrated and plump and just perfect. So yeah, I love this foundation. I really hope it doesn't get discontinued, but if it gets discontinued, I'm going to buy another because I love this foundation, even though I don't know if I can even find my shade anymore, but here's to hoping. Okay, and then the Ilia True Serum Skin Foundation. I do want to try this. I have a lot I want to try, but I really like the concealer of this foundation. It's a really pretty natural concealer. It's like a medium to full coverage. It looks really natural underneath the eyes. I always say it's great for people who don't love makeup or people who just want more of like an everyday makeup look while still getting some coverage from the concealer. So yeah, I really want to try the foundation. I feel like I don't know if I've ever heard anyone talk about the foundation, but if you've tried it, let me know if you like it. Then we have the NARS Skin Tint or Tinted Moisturizer. I do really want to try this. I've heard really good things about it. I feel like it's been around for years. I've just never tried it. So yeah, I do want to try it. Then we have the Say foundation. I don't know if I want to try this or not. I did really want to try it when it came out, but I've heard that it's pretty dewy. Probably not great for oily skin and doesn't last the best. So I don't know. Like, I'm still intrigued to try it, but I can't make up my mind. I'm gonna put it in want to. Then we have the Bare Minerals Tinted Moisturizer, or this is the Complex Rescue. I think it's a tinted moisturizer. It's definitely more of like a sheer to medium coverage. It's really pretty on the skin. Again, it looks very natural. It's a really pretty tinted moisturizer. Nothing bad to say about it, but yeah, I feel like it's like almost there. It's almost a holy grail, but just not quite there. Then we have the Kojin Dough foundation. I think this is getting discontinued, or maybe it's just getting taken off Sephora. I honestly didn't even know they still sold Kojin Dough on Sephora, but yeah, this is a $90 foundation, I think. I am not trying this foundation. I don't care how good it is. I'm not gonna spend that much money on foundation that is that expensive when there's ones that are even $40, which is still expensive, but they're still better. So yeah, there's literally like 4 shades available, so I don't know if it's getting discontinued or not. Then we have the House Labs foundation. This is such a good foundation. I feel like it can go, if I want it more of a hydrating dewy finish, I can make it that. If I want it more of a matte finish, I can make it that. I feel like it's very, I don't know, manipulative, I guess. That doesn't sound right, but I feel like I can manipulate the formula in a way, because some days it's a lot more dewy and hydrating, some days it's a lot more matte. Like today I'm pretty full glam and I feel like it's more of a matte foundation, so I am gonna put this in Go By right now. It's a really good foundation. It lasts really well. It has great coverage. It's just a good foundation. I think oily skin, dry skin, anyone's gonna love this foundation. This one is the Smashbox Full Coverage Foundation. Again, didn't even know they still sold this foundation. This is not a good foundation. I haven't used this foundation in probably like 4 years. It is just so full coverage. It is just so matte. It's so drying on the skin. I just did not like this. It was always patchy. It was always hard to work with. It just looked heavy on the skin. I did not like this foundation. So for me, that is a don't waste your money. Then we have the Yummy Skin by Danessa Myricks. I'm gonna put this in don't care to try, but I will say, unlike the others, I would try it if I heard good reviews about it, or if someone kind of convinced me otherwise. Like, I'm convincible on buying this foundation or this skin tint, but as of right now, I'm just not super intrigued by it. Then we have the Lawless, what is this one called? Is it Seal the Deal foundation? I can't remember. I'll have the names. Conceal the Deal? Is that what it's called? I don't know. I'll have the names in the video, maybe, we'll see. But I've heard really good things about this foundation. I heard that it's definitely more of a matte finish. It sets down, it lasts all day long. Yeah, I've heard good things about this one, so I would be intrigued to try it. And then we have the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better foundation. This is a good foundation. Again, there is nothing wrong with this foundation. It's good. I like it. It lasts good on the skin. It has more of a dewy, hydrating finish. It looks really pretty, but it's good. Out of all of my foundations, do I feel like I reach for this one a ton? No. So that's why I'm gonna leave it in good. Then we have the Say Tinted Moisturizer. So I was super intrigued to try this one, but I'm gonna put it in don't care to try. And even though I just kind of contradicted myself, I was super intrigued to try it until I felt like everyone was saying people with dry skin would love it, but people with oily skin would hate it, that it was just very kind of a slippery foundation or skin tint, very kind of like greasy and oily, which would be great for dry skin, but with people like oily skin like me, it just would literally be a mess. So I'm not super intrigued to try it. Then we have the Tik Tok Cream and Powder Foundation. I'm intrigued to try this one because I have heard nothing but good things about this foundation. I think it's more of a sheer, like not sheer, I think it's more like light to medium coverage, but I've heard good things about this one, so I am intrigued to try it. And apparently the powder is really nice too. And then we have the Makeup Forever Reboot. I'm gonna put that in haven't tried but want to, because Makeup XKA raves about this foundation. She says it's a really good dupe for the Armani Luminous Silk. But yeah, so I am intrigued to try that one. And then we have the Hourglass Soft Glow Foundation. I'm gonna put this in good. I don't think it's a bad foundation. Like, it's a good foundation. It has nice coverage. I just think it's very overpriced. I don't think that it's worth the like $60 or however much it is. There's just other ones that I like more, but I see that a lot of people love this foundation, so I might just be in the minority with that one. But yeah, I think it's a good foundation. I just don't love it. Okay, then we have the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. I have been loving this foundation. It is a really good dupe for the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, but it's just so pretty, so natural. It is more of a glowy, like hydrated formula, but even though it is more of that dewy finish, it still lasts on me really, really well. A lot of people were saying it didn't last, but I do set this and I do use a mattifying primer, but it is so pretty on the skin. It's just so skin-like. I've been loving it. Then we have the Gucci foundation. I'm gonna put this in don't care to try. I think this is like a $70 foundation, and I haven't really heard anyone talk about it or Gucci Beauty in general. I don't know. I don't care to try this. Then we have the Bosma Stick Foundation. I actually am gonna put this in haven't tried but want to. I'm intrigued by it. I feel like I hear a lot of people talk about it on TikTok. So yeah, never say never. I don't love stick foundations because they tend to be heavy and thick and just dewy, but I never know. So I'm gonna put that in haven't tried but want to. The Estee Lauder, what is this called? Hydra Foundation. I do actually want to try this. I think I've tried a sample of it like a long time ago, but yeah, I've been hearing like good things about Estee Lauder foundations. Have just been coming up again a lot recently, so yeah. Then we have the Tom Ford Traceless Foundation. I'm gonna put this in don't care to try. I know it's apparently like a really, really good foundation, but again, I think it's $96, and that is just crazy. Like literally crazy. Maybe if I was a millionaire, I would want to try it, but it's not. I just can't be worth that kind of money to me. A Cosmetics CC Cream. Again, there's like 3 different ones. I'm gonna just bundle them all up together and put this in I don't care to try. I know this is like holy grail for some people. It has been a holy grail for some people for like many, many years. I just think, I don't know. I just don't really care to try it. And then we have the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I'm gonna put this in almost perfect because this is a very good foundation. It has a lot of hype, has had hype for like, I don't know, 15 years, but it's just, the thing that keeps it from being not quite perfect is one, the shade range is terrible in this. I feel like it's so hard to find a shade unless you go in stores, but there's just like almost so many shades that it's hard to find a shade, and it's just really expensive. I think the Makeup by Mario one is a really good dupe for this foundation because they have a very similar finish, very similar coverage. I feel like they're a good dupe for each other, so that's why it's an almost perfect instead of a holy grail, because I think if you want to splurge but you might not, you might be in between, I would go with the Makeup by Mario instead of the Armani, just because they're very similar to each other. Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Foundation. This is like the squeezy one or something. I don't care to try this. It's just, that's it. That's all I have to say. NARS Sheer Glow. It's good. It's a good foundation. I think Alex Earl was like hyping this one up. It's a good foundation. It reminds me of, it's kind of like the light reflecting one, but more coverage. So I would say it's like a medium to full coverage. It is more of a satin finish. It's not glowy. Like the name I know is Sheer Glow, but but it's literally sheer glow, so it's just a little bit of glow. It's a really nice foundation. It wears really good. I just feel like I don't reach for it a ton. The Bobbi Brown foundation, this is like the matte one. I've heard actually really good things about this one, so I actually would be intrigued to try it just because I've heard really good reviews about it. The Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop Skin Tints, I'm gonna put this in Almost Perfect because before I found my Cali Ray skin tint, this was my holy grail, but now that I found the Cali Ray one, I like it so much more. It has better coverage, it lasts longer, it's just better. But yeah, the Fenty Beauty one is still really good. Urban Decay Naked Foundation, I'm just gonna put this in Good. I do think it's getting discontinued. I'm gonna need some water. I do think this one is getting discontinued because there's literally like there's like 4 shades or something, but I think 2 of them are sold out. I don't know. But yeah, it is a good foundation. It's really pretty. It's more of like a skin-like finish, but I feel like it has more of like a matte natural finish. So yeah, it's good. I do feel like it was like ran really dark, but it was a good foundation. That's all I have to say. Okay, then we have the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I didn't even know they still made this foundation. I thought they discontinued this foundation, but I just don't care to try it. I don't think that it's on my radar. Back in the day, I think I would have been more intrigued to try it, but now I just feel like I've tried so many other foundations that I'm not super intrigued to try this one. The YSL All Hours, I am very intrigued to try this foundation. I want to get it before I get married because, again, I've heard that it lasts really well, great for brides. So, I don't know. I just want to try this one. The Valentino, I'm actually intrigued to try this. I've actually heard pretty good things about it. Nothing from Valentino has screamed out to me. I don't know. A lot of it's just kind of like just expensive makeup. But I've actually heard good things about this foundation. The Beautiful Skin Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. Again, I'm intrigued to try this because I've been intrigued to try it since it came out, but then I stopped myself from buying it because I've just heard that it doesn't last really well, that it's pretty oily and greasy, and it's not great for oily skin. And that's just not good for oily skin, so I don't know. I go back and forth on it, but I'm still very intrigued to try it. So if you have oily skin and you've tried it, let me know if you like it. We have the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I'm gonna put this in Good. Like I said, like I actually used to really like this foundation when I first bought it, but I've moved out of that super matte full coverage foundation phase, and it's just a very matte foundation and it is very full coverage. Like I could use the tiniest little bit of this and it still gave me a ton of coverage. And since it did have such heavy full coverage, it could look heavy if you use too much, but overall it was a really nice foundation. I think if you're someone who likes that that really matte full coverage foundation that still is just like very airbrush on the skin, I think you would really like it, but I'm just not in that phase anymore. Then we have the Urban Decay Hydromaniac Tinted Moisturizer. I'm gonna put this in Don't Care to Try. I have heard good things about it, but I think it's suited better for drier skin than oily skin, so yeah. Then we have the Rare Beauty, what is this called? Soft Touch Foundation. I'm gonna put this in Good. I think that it's nice. It looks really pretty on the skin. I do really like this foundation, but yeah, it's good. I just feel like I don't have a ton to say about it. Like if I don't have a ton to say about it, but I still like it, I think it's good. I feel like Almost Perfect would be like, I use it all the time. I do really like this foundation, but now I'm like, do I want to put it in Almost Perfect or do I want to keep it in Good? Because I did used to use it a lot. It lasts really well on the skin. I would say it's like a sheer, like it can be like light coverage to full coverage, or light to like medium coverage. but it could look dry if I didn't hydrate my skin well. So I want to keep it in good because of the fact that it like, if I didn't hydrate really well, I do feel like it could look dry on my skin and it could be kind of patchy. So I'm just gonna leave it in that one. Then we have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter. Again, it's good. It has really nice coverage. It lasts really well, but yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about that one. The LYS foundation, I just am not super intrigued to try this one. I was when it first came out, but I kind of just moved on. I'm not super intrigued by it. The Tower 28 Sunny Day Sunscreen, again, when it first came out, I was really intrigued to try this one. But again, I've heard that it's just really greasy and oily. Yeah, for that, since I have oily skin, I just don't care to try it. The NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. If you've watched my channel and you haven't bought this foundation, are you even listening to what I'm saying? This is such a good foundation. It's just so good. It's just so good. It's so skin-like. It lasts all day long. It has, oh no. Okay. It has a really great coverage. It's like a medium to full coverage. It's just so good. It's literally, I would say the coverage on it is like light to medium. I wouldn't even say light. Like if you use like a little tiny bit, it's more light. But I definitely think it's more of a medium to buildable coverage. It's just so pretty on the skin. It lasts all day long. It's just so good. It's literally one of my holy grail foundations. Makeup Forever. This is a really good foundation. I'm gonna put this in Go By right now. This is a really good one. Lasts all day long. You can really manipulate the coverage. You can have it more light to medium to full. They have so many shades, like great shade range. Lasts all day long. Great coverage. There's nothing else to say. There's a good chance my camera's gonna die, so I'm gonna speed her up. So the NARS Natural Radiant Foundation, this is in a want to try. People have talked about this for years. I know it's not great for oily skin, but there's so many people that love it that I do want to try it. And then the Ilia Skin Tint, don't care to try this. I've just heard that it's really oily and just not the best coverage, so not for me. So that is everything I want to talk about. Let me know if you tried any of these, your opinions on them, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.